What's up, guys? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to Lamest Taste. You can check out the YouTube channel at The Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more. We are doing a annoying video. Unfortunately, what I'm about to talk to is a series I highly enjoyed and was very hesitant in watching, but eventually, after the numerous TikToks and YouTube videos I saw about it, I gave it a shot. This is the Netflix original series called Grand Army. And the problem here is there's only one season. This is my review of season one, and there's only going to be one season. Netflix canceled this series, I personally believe, extremely prematurely. I believe the cancellation came out, if not in January, in the end of December. But since it came out, I had been seeing TikToks and other platforms making videos about this series non-stop, while there being clips of it, people talking about it, all sorts of stuff. And I really wanted to check it out. And right before I was about to check it out, Netflix announced that it was being canceled. So that obviously annoyed me. Because I don't want to commit to something, have a cliffhanger ending, and then never get a resolution. But after seeing it, I said, I'll give it a chance. I probably won't do a review about it, but I'll do it. I loved this show. I thoroughly enjoyed everything you could think of about this show. So obviously this is a show that premiered October 16th, 2020. So it's been out, and people were expecting a season 2, right? So it'd been happening, and then slowly but surely was getting more attention. And I feel like for it to be announced, I believe it was recently, because I recently saw that it got canceled. I recently saw people making videos of it getting canceled. So I'm assuming that cancellation was recent. But it's been out. And from what I could see as an onlooker, it was getting a lot of attention. Then I watched it, and it was really good. Really good. So it is a 9-episode season, which first off is weird. 9 episodes, just make it 10. They're about, I think they average a little bit around the 50-minute mark. Minute over. The last episode, though, is an hour and 11 minutes. And basically, this is a real ass show. It's real. It's like a modern day, very political, realistic, well-filmed Degrassi, I would say. The setting is Brooklyn, New York. I'm assuming this is like 2019 because they reference the beginning of the pandemic towards the end. Like the last episode starts to mention like things getting shut down, and the threat of things getting shut down, the city getting shut down. And we never get anything about it, right? So it's good. It starts off the first episode. First off, you got a wide cast of characters, and they're all pretty much developed. Like a lot of these characters get like a lot of attention. Obviously, you have the main characters, being Joey Del Marco, Dominique Pierre, Siddharth Pakam, Jason Jackson, and Leah Kwan Zimmer. So those are like the three. Those are the 5 main people that get a consistent coverage throughout the whole show. And they're like the main plot lines. But obviously each of them have characters in this high school, Grand Army. It's a private school in Brooklyn. Each of these characters have characters tied into their individual plots. Each of them have like 4 or 5 characters that are tied into their story. So you have 5 characters with 5 characters each, like it's a lot of characters, and I feel like everyone got a good amount of exposure, and a lot of these people's storylines kind of overlapped. The first episode, which hooked me from the beginning, is this high school functioning, whatever, and then this guy is in the park near the high school, and he's a suicide bomber. Boom, right? The school gets locked down. One of their friends, you know, they don't know where he is. He was leaving during his free period to go check on his mom, and no one's seen him. Everyone's stuck in the hallways, locked together. There's this one teacher that's like picking on Joey because she's like, you know, because the way she represents herself, you know, is offensive in her view of how a woman should act. So like there's a big conflict for like 2-3 episodes between that character and this teacher, and that causes the whole thing. And then, you know, there's two guys messing with this girl that cause a whole story, and she has her own story. It's really good. All the plot lines, I believe, are really good. You touch on all these things that a modern teenage drama of a high school should touch on. It's all relevant. It's all, you know, to each their own view, but I feel like it's a very, very broad, very realistic variety here. And I loved it. I loved every storyline. I liked every character. Those characters I was annoyed with, but no character that I was like, I hate every time he goes on the screen. And there's some issues that I don't want to talk about that are displayed in here, because I think it's better for you to have that shock value when it gets to that point on your own. I highly suggest checking this out. If I had to rank this 1 through 5, like I do for shows, I would 100% give this a 5. I don't think there's anything this show did wrong. I think, technically speaking, it's filmed perfectly. Transitions are great. Soundtrack is great. Momentum, flow, plot, everything's great. Writing, dialogue, everything's amazing. Acting, incredible. Storyline and plot, incredible. The last episode had me speechless. I loved everything about this series. There's not a single complaint. I don't have a single complaint about this show. And it blows my mind that for someone who found out about the show because of the exposure that it had on social media, for it to be canceled. I don't care when, you know, obviously, you know, it got canceled. Cool. They should bring it back. This is a major L. And I'm getting sick and tired of Netflix creating shows, putting shows out there on a direct-to-consumer streaming platform. It's a binge-watching platform. You put it out, and it doesn't do good right away. You can't get rid of it. You have to keep it, especially when it's an original, when you shell out your own money for it. If it's a show that you paid for the rights of, and after, you know, your rental of 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it hasn't performed what you expected it to perform, pull it off the service. That's fine. But for the stuff that you don't have to pay, I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming because it's a Netflix original, you don't have to pay as much for that product to keep it on your service as product that comes from other studios outside of your ownership. There's no excuse to get rid of it. There's no excuse not to keep it, because the streaming platform, your Netflix's patented style, anything can blow up at any time. So this show stays on your service, right? And so it's very popular right now. It could continue to get popular, die off, and then in 2 years get even more popular. And the fact that you did not continue the series or leave it as an open, like, we might, you know, if it does well in a couple years, we'll go back to it. Excuse me. The fact that you cancel it just shows me that you have no clue what you're doing with your own strategy, because Hulu, Disney Plus, those other guys have kind of started, HBO Max and everyone, they're starting to revert back to the standard TV method. They're not binge watch strategy anymore. Originally, when they all started their putting out their content on their streaming platforms on their own to compete with Netflix. They were doing whole series uploaded at once. Now they're kind of slipping back into once a week until they decide, even though there's direct to streaming platforms and not even direct to its channel. So that annoys me that they're doing that, but that's your patented thing still, right? They're going back. So you should be leaning on that direct to streaming platform heavy, because the people that try to compete with us, that use the same strategy as us to get you to watch them, are now leaving the thing that you like. You can no longer binge watch something when it comes out. We still do that. So the shows that binge, bank on. You bank on this show. Grand Army, 5 out of 5. You bank on it. End of story. Canceling shows before they've had their chance. Don't cancel a Netflix original. Say it's on hiatus. Say that you guys are working on it. Say that you're waiting for the right moment for the next plotline. I don't care. Don't cancel Netflix originals without it doing poorly after a certain amount of time. Show's been out for 3 years. Show's been doing well for 3 years. There's no excuse. With that being said, my rant's over. It's a 5 out of 5 show. Watch season 1. Maybe we'll get a season 2 if this keeps blowing up. Check out the YouTube channel at The Vinyl Casket. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Remember, subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more. Home to Lamest Taste. Need you to do a favor for me. Need you to stay lame.